Let's cross over to CGTN's Yasser Hakim, joining us live from Al Arish city near the Egypt-Gaza border. Yasser, so what's the latest on the partial reopening of the Rafah border crossing?
Well, what happened is that from early morning, the ambulances from Egyptian side have gathered in front of the gate, the Rafah border gate, waiting for the green light to enter the Rafah border from the Palestinian side and receive those injured and sick Palestinians who need urgent treatment. But until now, it has not opened yet for the movement itself. But what's happening is that throughout the day there is a lot of inside organizational work being happening, the coordination work between the EU team, the Palestinian team, the Egyptians, and the Israeli security apparatus to coordinate the system and the mechanism that will be put in place starting tomorrow when it's officially opened on Monday. So for a few hours now, it's a waiting game until all the preparations are ready within the system itself, inside, behind the scenes. And once that's ready, maybe in a few hours, the gates will be open, and the priority is for the injured Palestinians to leave Gaza into Egypt. Egypt says that there are hundreds, around 300 hospitals around the country waiting on high alert to receive the Palestinian injured Palestinians. According to the Egyptian authorities, 20,000 Palestinians have registered. Those are the injured and sick alone. 20,000 have registered to enter Egypt to be treated. Some of them will be treated here in Al Arish city, the hospital. There are 4 hospitals here, one big one and 3 small ones. And other cases, if they're more sophisticated, they will go to other cities like in Cairo or even abroad. As for the Palestinians who want to leave Egypt and return to Gaza, according to the Palestinian authorities, 80,000 Palestinians want to return home to Gaza. However, like you said a while ago, Beatrice, that the numbers are still uncertain. We are talking, we're listening to sources saying it's in the range of 150 to 200 Palestinians per day will be leaving and coming back. There's differences between Egypt and Israel on that part. Israel says 50 will leave Egypt into Gaza and 150 will leave Gaza into Egypt.
Right.
While Cairo says that it wants the equal number from both sides to enter.
Right, so Yasser, we do know that limited aid trucks have been crossing in the hundreds each day, but do explain to us what will be different after this reopening.
No, the aid trucks is a different story, and unfortunately, although Egypt has been haggling and trying to push for more aid trucks to enter Gaza according with the reopening of the border, but Israel has refused. It has said that this reopening is only limited to pedestrians and civilians. As for the aid trucks, in the past few months since the ceasefire agreement that was signed in October in Sharm el-Sheikh, the US led ceasefire agreement, only around 100, average of 100 trucks per day enter Gaza. And that's supposed to be 600 according to the agreement, from 600 to 1,000. And Israel has only allowed 100, an average of 100 a day. And that's extremely low number. It does not cover any needs for the Palestinians who need, like I said, according to the UN, from 600 to 1,000 a day. So Egypt has been negotiating with Israel and the US to try to reach that number, 600, 700 at least a day, with the reopening of the border, but we haven't heard anything new about that. From the Israeli side, they said all things remain as it is concerning the aid trucks. It will remain at this number. Egypt is hoping that it can push that number forward. Back to you.
Right. So, Yasser, so what are some of the biggest steps now remaining in the Israel-Palestinian ceasefire process after this reopening?
Well, believe it or not, the first phase we're talking about now, with all the haggling and all the sticking points between Egypt, Israel, and the Palestinians, it should be the easiest phase, the first phase that has just ended. The second phase, which is the opening of the Rafah border crossing, has more complicated issues. such as the disarming of Hamas and the reconstruction of Gaza. Now, the sticking points for the disarming of Hamas is that Hamas feels that the guarantees provided by the US of the safety of the Hamas members after disarming are not enough, and that Israel does not comply to any of the agreements that it has signed. For example, just yesterday or last night, more than 30 people, around 40 people were killed, all civilians, women and children, by Israel, and that's a major violation of the ceasefire agreement. So the Palestinian side is asking for guarantees that Israel will control the second, or will abide by the agreement and the second phase, and that is to maintain the safety of the Hamas group once they disarm. The second part is the reconstruction of Gaza. Israel says it will not allow the reconstruction of Gaza until Hamas leaves. And Hamas said it doesn't want to leave until it guarantees its safety. So even the reconstruction part might not go ahead until the disarming part begins. So it's a kind of a complicated issue that will need a lot of negotiations, a lot of talks between the mediators, obviously Egypt and Qatar, and Turkey as well, with the US, Israel and Palestinian side, to try to get this whole process moving. Obviously, it is sponsored by the United States, and the US President Donald Trump seems to be adamant that it continues successfully. But until now, we're going to see if actually this will happen, because from the first phase and all the complications, it is the easiest one. It wasn't easy. So the Palestinians hope the second one will go smoothly, so they'll be allowed to go back to their homes, they'll be allowed to rebuild the country, and that the ceasefire actually holds on and no more killings in the next few months. Back
All
to you.
right, Yasser Hakim joining us there from Al Arish city near the Egypt-Gaza border.